What better way for a son and father to bond over than their mutual love for the Dallas Cowboys? Hi, I'm Michael Davis with my dad, Mack. We're a star-studded son and dad duo on the star-studded Cowboys Network, powered by Fans First Sports Network and Boom Broadcasting. And this is Dad and the Boys. Unfortunate news broke over the weekend, and Dad, I'm so upset because it's every offseason, Dallas Cowboys in the headlines for getting in trouble, and that's exactly what happened to KaVontae Turpin. KaVontae Turpin was arrested over the weekend, and Dad, these charges are pretty disgusting on misdemeanor drug and weapon charges because he was clocked at going at 97 miles per hour in a 70-mile-per-hour zone. And then they were able to detect weed and a 9mm pistol in plain sight. Dad, we had high hopes on KaVontae Turpin. I just dropped an article on FFSN.com about how excited I was for Jadon Blue, the new rookie running back, to be on the field with KaVontae Turpin. But why is Turpin wanting to translate his speed on the field to off the field on the highway?
Okay, so KaVontae Turpin was arrested over the weekend. All right. And let me get the facts straight. He was arrested for going 97 miles an hour in a 70-mile-an-hour zone. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, if you remember not too long ago before pre-COVID when we was visiting Dallas to go see them play the Redskins, 97, what's that? That's slowpoke lane in Texas. I mean, they run you over out there. So I really don't understand why you're pulling somebody over at 97 miles an hour in Texas. Because trust me, they fly. I refused to get on the interstate most of the time while we were out there, if you recall. We would drive the back roads because I was like, these idiots out here fly. Now, let's talk about the charges. All right. So there's 2 misdemeanors, and it's for less than 2 ounces of marijuana and unlawful carrying of a weapon. Now, unlawful carrying of a weapon is simply because he had marijuana. If he didn't have the marijuana with him, they would have never charged him for the unlawful carrying of a weapon. All right, so let's set the record straight out there. Sunday morning, so when this broke, I'm not going to dish you, KaVontae Turpin. Understand that. You're a young man. Young men make mistakes. Human beings make mistakes.
But we can't agree this was a mistake.
This was a mistake. It was a low point in your life, a low point in your career. Hopefully you will learn from it, be better off for it, and hopefully the anticipation is that it will not cost you any time away from the team. So that is a thing. But I want to talk to you a little bit more in the story. Because like Paul Harvey says, now you know the rest of the story. Well, yeah, he got arrested. Young men make dumb mistakes all the time, especially in pro sports. You're in the limelight, KaVontae Turpin. But I will say this, going to church, Pastor Phil often says that if you want to know your true friends, go get arrested. Because most of the friends that you have will turn your back on you. And they will walk away like they don't know you. But if you'll slide just a little bit, he gets a lot of rubbing and a lot of rift right here on this poster. And I don't know if you can see it on there. But this man right here, our quarterback, number 4, gets a lot of rift. KaVontae, who bailed you out, my friend? Who came there, showed up, and did what he pulled strings, pulled whatever he needed to help you out and get you out of jail. Your quarterback, a true friend, didn't turn his back on you. So that shows you the character of the man.
And we know Dak Prescott's character, and he's also made mistakes. He had a DUI in college, so he can probably relate to KaVontae Turpin and being in that spot. I just can't take away the focus from like KaVontae Turpin just got an extension in Dallas.
He did.
The richest returner in the NFL. He has speed. I know we can utilize him. I want him used in the slot, blow the top off defenses, maybe being used in the backfield in Brian Schottenheimer's offense. And you go out and right after this contract a few months ago, you're just putting yourself in a bad position. And you mentioned like athletes, like they're in the limelight. Like they have to understand, especially in Dallas, like you're not going to get away with this.
Well, and again, sometimes as adults, young adults, old adults, we don't always make the best choice. We don't always think about what the end result could be, the consequences. And in all fairness, I don't think KaVontae Turpin did it during this whole thing. Again, or he wouldn't have been doing 97 to bring attention to himself. And, let's face it, in Texas, it's not unlawful to carry a gun. Open carry is perfectly fine. I think you can actually, carry concealed without a permit in Texas. I'm not for sure exactly on that. Don't live in Texas, so I'm not familiar with those laws, but I do know that they can open carry in Texas. So he had it in plain sight, so it was an open carry. The problem with that is the fact that he had the less than 2 ounces of marijuana, which is probably a joint. Not the smartest choice. Again, I carry a gun most of the places I go, concealed or open carry. So I'm familiar with that. I do not use drugs. I've never used them. I don't advocate for it. I don't believe that you should do it, whether it's legal or not, because it doesn't mess with your ability to handle situations. And KaVontae, you've got a problem with handling those situations. That's okay. Like I said, I'm not coming here to bash you. I'm just saying, use this as a learning tool. Hopefully it won't set you back in your NFL career. I honestly, believe it or not, as much as I disown Roger Goodell, as much as you've heard me do that throughout my lifetime, throughout your lifetime, I honestly don't even believe Goodell's going to suspend him. He may shock me. If he does, he definitely proves the Dallas Cowboy bias. But I really don't believe this is based on previous instances, that this will be a suspendable offense. It's a couple misdemeanors. He should get a little bit. He may have to do a little bit of community service or whatever, pay a fine, and hopefully this will be resolved. But hopefully, he will learn from it. I mean, not to say that there's any degree on things, but yourself, having a speeding ticket. Sometimes you need to learn a lesson. And you do, whether it's, I can get around this car if I speed up, or I can get to this location. And sometimes you're unaware of your surroundings. You're unaware of the decisions you're making.
I will say this is a lot different.
It is a different scenario, but
this is 30 miles over, 27 miles over.
It is a different scenario in that regards. I'm just saying that, he took and made a poor decision. People make them all the time. They do. And whether it be sitting there on your phone, texting and driving, You know, not paying attention, going places that you shouldn't be, doing things that you shouldn't. This is one of those times where KaVontae Turpin will hopefully learn from it. I do believe this will definitely speed up the process for Coach Schottenheimer and them to look and say, hey, look, you know, if something was to happen and Turpin was to be forced to miss games for this, for whatever reason, whether it be the
suspension,
the legal side, or the suspension from Roger Goodell in the NFL, then what do we put in place to take and offset this? Is that keeping Deuce Vaughn even on the roster? Is it putting Jaden Blue back there? I know he's been playing, practicing that role in the OTAs and mini camps and stuff. So who's going to take over those fielding the kicks, whether it be the punt or the kickoff return? Because let's face it, that if it's somebody new, they need to get aware of the rules. I mean, because even as a fan, those things have changed so much on kickoffs that it's like, okay, does he have to return it? Which is best off? You know, what does he need to do? It ain't as cut and dry as it used to be.
That's true. And Turpin's mainly used in the return game. I was hopeful for him being on the field, but Dad was mentioning this opening up other opportunities. And, you know, Jadon Blue running a 4.28 on his pro day, running a 4.38 at the NFL Combine. Maybe he filled some of those. We also have Javonte Williams, to where Jadon Blue won't be expected to be the day one starting running back, even though Jadon Blue might be the starting running back down the line. In terms of the receiving game, CeeDee Lamb, they did get George Pickens. That helps out a lot. I also wrote an article on FFSN.com saying Trayshawn Holden might be a name to watch out for, getting more reps, especially helping with the run block as a wide receiver. But Turpin, we do make mistakes, but this one was something you'll probably have to answer to, and again, learn from it. Learn from it. But Dad, I hope you learned a little bit about our new game, Stump or Bump, because when you hit me with those questions, I got some questions for you, and we are going to cover that right after.
I thought we were supposed to. I was the one supposed to be asking you all the questions.
No. Just when you think you have the answers, I'm going to change the questions here on Dad and the Boys.
You're not Roddy Piper.
Hey, I'm not Roddy Piper.
You're not Rod.
But I'm Michael Davis, and that's my dad, Mack. We'll take a quick commercial break if you're listening on Fans First Sports Network, and if you're watching on Boom Broadcasting. We'll be right back for Stump or Bump after this break. Welcome back to Dad and the Boys. I'm Michael Davis, my dad, Mack. And last episode, we did Stump or Bump. Dad tried stumping me. He stumped me once. And now I got the opportunity to stump my dad. And well, you can sometimes try to be a know-it-all when it comes to the Cowboys. But don't worry, I did my research.
All right, so let me ask you a question. Oh, before we get into the Stump and Bump, I think, and fans out there of Dad and the Boys and my show, Starstruck with Mack, hit us up on our comment section. I think if I get all three of them right, that he should have to buy me the gift that I told my wife that I wanted for Christmas. It is a 2025 Fat Boy that is the Dallas colors and chrome, and even the emblem on the gas tank has a Dallas Cowboy star. It's only a $25,000 buy.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
I think you should have to. Y'all hit him up on there.
All right. Well, hey, just as you guys know, we have 3 questions. Dad hit me with 3 questions last time. I'm hitting him with 3 questions this time. And so, Dad, I'm going to hit you first with, this isn't the MVP award, but this was considered the Player of the Year award back in 1971, called the NFL Burt Bell Award. And a Dallas Cowboy won it in this year. So who won the 1971 NFL Burt Bell Award?
71.
You were alive, technically.
I was, and that's at the beginning of my fandom too. Wow.
I'll give you a hint.
Okay,
I'll give you
let
a
me
hint.
ask you a couple questions. Can I get a couple questions? One, was it offense or defense?
I will give you offense.
Okay.
I will give you offense.
So if it's offense, let's see. Was Morton still here? I know we didn't get Dorsett until 77. So it wasn't Dorsett. I don't think we had a running back. I mean, yeah, we had Calvin Hill and different ones in the prior to that, Don Perkins and stuff that were ending up their career. I don't think. Oh man, was it Dwayne Thomas? Nah, I couldn't see Dwayne getting it because I mean Dwayne had a lot of issues. A lot of issues.
Hey, theme of the episode.
Hey, boy, KaVontae Turpin, you ain't got nothing on Dwayne Thomas. I'm gonna go with Roger. It was Staubach.
I mean, he is Captain America.
He is.
That honestly surprised me. It took you that long to come up with 1971.
Well, see, I mean,
it comes with Roger.
Well, I mean, you got to remember, Roger was in Nam.
That is true. True.
And so when did he actually come and start to the Cowboys? Because there was a period where him and Craig Morton were kind of alternating series. And then we traded Craig away to Denver. And actually, it was a funny fact that in 77, when we beat Denver, Craig Morton was their starting quarterback and Roger was ours.
Hey, that
don't happen often.
That really doesn't happen often. But by the way, you earned one of those. We'll see if he's getting two more.
I get the bike.
You don't get the bike. It's stump or bump, not stump or bike. Okay. All right, Dad. Here's your second question. Okay. Who leads all former Cowboys head coaches with a regular season winning percentage of 62.5%? I think I've stumped him.
I know this is one or two ones. Most people would say Tom Landry, but it's not. Most people would say Jimmy Johnson, but it's not. And I'm between two. I'm between Barry Switzer and Mike McCarthy. And I'm gonna go with Mike.
You're going to go with Mike?
Yep.
Now, you did name me Michael. You didn't name me after Mike McCarthy. And I'm sorry, Dad, but no bump, no bike. As a matter of fact, this was Barry Switzer with 62.5%.
See, I told you it was either Barry Switzer or Mike.
Yeah, you did. And you know what? You flipped the coin. You didn't get the right side, but it's okay because guess what? You get another chance to redeem yourself. All right. So we've talked a little bit about Roger Staubach, Hall of Fame player for the Dallas Cowboys. We talked about Barry Switzer back in the 90s, leading all former Cowboys head coaches, which is weird. Think about Landry, Jimmy Johnson, even Mike McCarthy with his back-to-back 12-win seasons. But they are on that list. But another Hall of Famer, Emmitt Smith, leads the NFL in all-time rushing yards. So, Dad, how many consecutive seasons did Emmitt Smith have 1,000 rushing yards or more?
I can't remember if he got it in his rookie season or not. I want to say it's either 10 or 11. I don't think it was 12 consecutive. Flip the proverbial coin. Cooper Rush or Danny White? I'm going to go with Danny White, number 11.
You got 11? Dad, the coin loved you this time. 11 consecutive seasons.
Wow.
Which, I mean, if you think about like how impressive that is for Emmitt Smith.
That's impressive for a running back, period.
I mean, 11 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons. I mean, A, he is the all-time leading rusher, but B, like, how healthy do you have to be? And Emmitt, we know, battled through injuries as well. But, like, you have to be durable and reliable and good enough to make it that far.
Well, and the thing about Emmitt that I love most, I mean, you know, in that time, you had a couple other running backs that were the talk of the town as being the best. Okay. And that was Barry Switzer. I mean, not Barry Switzer, but
Barry Sanders.
Barry Sanders and Walter Payton. Right.
Two great running backs in their own right.
But Barry Sanders he was lightning in a bottle. He would pinball you to death. But if Barry Sanders, he could take it to the house or he could lose 5 yards.
Mm-hmm.
You just didn't know which way it was going to go on any given snap. With Emmitt, you know the ball was going to go forward.
Always.
Very seldom, if any, did he lose yards. Now, a lot of that is contributed to Moose Johnston leading the way. Thank you, Moose. And he even said so in his Hall of Fame speech. But Emmitt was the classic between the tackles, great running back, durability. He was there in season and out, in, and he would move the chains. And he played with a chip on his shoulder. He played with heart and just amazing talent.
And it was a huge reason why we won 3 Super Bowls.
Oh, he was. Ask Jerry Jones. And when we went 0-2 after that, what was it? We had won the first Super Bowl and went 0-2 the next season. Emmitt sat out. Mm-hmm. Oh, he got a contract real quick.
He did.
And next thing you know, we're going back to the Super Bowl to beat the Buffalo Bills for a second consecutive time.
A second consecutive time. By the way, Neil, if you're watching, hello, don't fire me. But Dad, that was good. You get a bump on that one. And so, do you guys get a bump? Because we're going to do a fan question that you can drop in the comments below. No cheating, no Google searching, but in honor of KaVontae Turpin, the topic at the top of the show, who leads the Dallas Cowboys in kickoff return touchdowns in a single season? That is your trivia question. We're taking a page out of Chris DeLuca's book for Dugout Debrief on Boom Broadcasting. But guys, we appreciate you watching Dad and the Boys on Boom Broadcasting, for listening to Dad and the Boys on Fans First Sports Network. And you guys can read an article on KaVontae Turpin later this afternoon. May even drop Wednesday, depending on how much volume we have on ffsn.com. And I'm dropping other Cowboys content, football, basketball related stuff on that website. And we're appreciative of their partnership with Boom Broadcasting. But guys, for myself, Michael Davis, it's been my dad, Mack. This has been Dad and the Boys. And remember, this is our first rodeo, and we'll catch you here next time.